Good morning and welcome to Hawklord2112 reviews. Again, different camera setup because why not? Today I'm reviewing something different. I would say I was going to look out the window and do my usual. It's actually a bit grey out there this morning. This morning I am reviewing 2020. It's been a year. Obviously a lot has happened. January, don't really remember. February, I remember largely I was suspended from work, made a mistake, had a complaint against me, suspended pending disciplinary investigation, which kind of came back with a final written. That was at the end of February. Went back at the start of March, did a week's worth of work. Customary 2 weeks for mine and Charlie's birthdays. And then 17th of March, first day back, day after my birthday, getting Isabel ready for school. On the Monday, get an email from work pop up on my phone saying, oh, we're going to be closing the stores from the 26th of April. And I remember thinking to myself, that's quite a while, because this is where, you know, the virus had been on the up for a little bit, and the high street was pretty dead, and it was noticeable before the government in the UK had announced lockdown. And I thought that's a month. That's quite a bit of, that's a month and a half. That's quite a bit of time to shut all the stores down for this impending lockdown. And then I read it again, and it said, we understand the news of this. These redundancies doesn't come at a good time. It's like, excuse me, what? So I read the email again, and yeah, they said nothing to do with the virus, that the company were choosing to close all the high street stores, concentrate on online and store within store. We're going to do a consultation period, we're going to make you all redundant. And I thought, flip. 13 years in the industry, or 13 years in the retail side of the mobile industry. And there are a lot of very mixed emotions. Panic, uncertainty and worry. So I did the usual thing. We went Isabel in. There was a conference call, and it wasn't a conference call. It was, they had people dialing in to listen to a conference call where there was a pre-recorded message from the head of the company. They didn't even have the balls to go live and tell us themselves. That kind of changed all of the attitude in the store. They still expected us to sell, and then midday the same day they send us an email saying, check out these exclusive deals only available on the internet. Like, you know, you've just had us all on the phone saying, because customers are choosing to purchase online. Yeah, because you make the deals cheaper, you don't give us the tools to fight. This is why you're getting a loss on the high street. So yeah, that was fun. The store kind of closed and ceased trading 5 days later, which was a bit of a shame, because the manager Dan at the time said, you know what, on the last day that we trade, he's Hungarian, I can't do his accent, on the last day we are trading, you can, as long as you don't directly swear at them, you can say to customers whatever you want. I was looking forward to that. Yeah, so we packed the store up, and that was it. And that was kind of bittersweet. A lot of people hoisted a lot of stuff out the stores, stuff that just wasn't on the system, and it was like, And they did consultations, and they made a load of positions available for people to transfer sideways, either into the store in store here in Plymouth or into the Currys. But I thought to myself, you know what, fuck that. No, done with this company. Given them 13 years, they did give a fairly generous redundancy package. They paid 75% extra over what they were required to. And that, coupled with my length of service, coupled with my age, I wasn't worrying about money. And so we went into lockdown. Charlie started working from home. We converted first dining room here into the office space, which wasn't ideal. And then we did the box room upstairs, which was an awful lot better. And did the homeschool thing, greater or lesser success. And I will admit, Charlie did most of it. It got to the point where I was scrolling through my phone so much, I got a weakness in my thumb. I don't know how many miles this thumb has scrolled. March, April, May. It was, yeah. But I wasn't worrying because, I managed to get some benefits. Charlie was still working. We did a mortgage holiday, which is, I don't know if it's saved us any money or cost us any money. We had money in savings. Charlie had worked out that if we went back to bare basics, I had about 3 years. And we had about sort of 6 months easy off the savings that we had before we even looked at my redundancy. My redundancy gave us like 3 years worth of grace. And it got to May and I was really kind of desperate. I'd made a couple of applications, nothing was coming forward, and then I got a phone call from an employment agency saying, the one that you applied through us for has they've filled the role, but can you start at a new place tomorrow? Yeah, it's on North Hill. Is that easy for you to get to? Well, yeah. And then I started working for a local company called Telebiz, who are a virtual call centre. I'd always said to myself I wouldn't go back to contact centre work because EE, Orange as it was at the time, killed me. Sort of 10, 11 years of, you don't phone you don't phone up a company if things are going well. You only phone up with complaints and problems. But I thought, okay, I was getting bored and fed up of it, and we worked out how the homeschool thing was going to work. And so, dived into that one. It started off, it was minimum sort of 20 hours, and my shifts were like all over the shop. And it was taking inbound calls for a company called Wiltshire Farm Foods, doing orders for frozen food for older people. And it did the job, and it was okay, and I felt like I was doing good, and I was helping people, and because we were like a third party, we weren't directly responsible for things, so if there were any problems, we could just pass them on to the local branches that would actually do things. So I wasn't actually solving problems, it was just doing the basics. And it was okay. It was quite a small team. Got to know people very, very quickly, and I really quite enjoyed it, and I was treated like a person, which is great, and it really kind of keyed me back into, I can work the headset. And then it frustrated me at times. One of the other things that it did was like virtual receptionist, and it was having to take messages for companies where they couldn't answer the phone themselves and then send them on. And it was the constant kind of I do work for this fencing company, I do work for this legalistic company, but I can't patch you through directly because the lines are busy. I'll send a message across, and it just, I wasn't massively enjoying that aspect of it. And there are a few things that I liked, a few of the call types that we took on top of those ones. And then at the start of July, we managed to go on a camping holiday. We went and we camped at Ten Creek after some of the restrictions had lifted, and that was nice, just outside Loo. And then at the start of July, I was watching the church's service from St Matt's first thing on a Sunday, and I felt a call, and it was like, Ross, you know you can work a call centre, work a headset. So Ross, you remember that you love praying for people and you miss it. Say, Ross, you remember that Emma that ran your Alpha table that brought you to faith, she used to work for God TV, who are based in Plymouth. Ross applied to work for God TV. And so when the service was over, I went on the website, and there was no vacancies in the job section, but I filled in the contact form. I got an email back Monday or Tuesday saying we don't have anything at the moment, but there are some roles coming up soon, keep an eye on the website. Role for partner coordinator appeared, so I applied for it, and then the role for the scheduling assistant or junior scheduler appeared. Applied for that as well, because that was no experience needed. In this time I'd also been offered full-time at Telebiz with a permanent contract, with the option to move from the agency across to Telebiz direct staff, which took a couple of months to kick through. And that was scheduled to happen on the 28th of August. And so I had the interview for the scheduling assistant. I didn't get an interview for partner coordinator. Had the Zoom interview for scheduling assistants. Didn't get it. Apparently I interviewed quite well. I still got the feedback for it. And they said, can we keep your details on file in case any more roles come up? So I said, yeah, might as well. And didn't think anything of it. And then a couple of days later, I had an email saying there's another partner coordinator role become available. Would you like to interview for it? Interviewed for it, which was on the Tuesday. And then they said, yeah, sure, we can be letting people know on Friday. And then 45 minutes later, I had a phone call from Adam, and he said, would you like the job? Yeah. They said, okay, so when can you start? And I said, well, I've got a holiday booked for the first week in September. He said, yeah, okay, second week in September. So I then had to give my week's notice, which coincided with the folks at Telebiz that I didn't quite sign my permanent contract with them, because it would have been a month's notice, and that would have been a problem. And then all of the references fell in place, and then so I started working for God TV as a partner coordinator, inbound and outbound. And it's one of the most rewarding jobs that I've had. Retail was killing me. Didn't enjoy it. I should have, I did look around for other jobs whilst I was on suspension, but not as heavy as I could have done. But yeah, that was a big thing. And so 2020 brought me a new and better job. So if anything, thank you. Music, gaming and music, the other two things. Gaming, I've both done more gaming and less gaming than I thought would have been possible. We'd moved we moved the Tuesday night roleplay at game to a virtual thing, kind of like February, just doing it by Discord, and that really worked, because we weren't playing anything big and tactical. We were playing Urban Shadows at the time, and that kind of carried on, and we found some new tools that we could use to keep track of things, and that really worked. The Sunday game, we tried it on Discord, and it didn't really pan out. Moved across to Zoom, which is good because we can record it, and that was good. And then I was also doing, so I got the Tuesday game, I'd got an alternate Thursday game for Iron Sworn with Royston. Then there was another game on the other alternate Thursdays with Chris that didn't quite pan out for the wrestling, for Worldwide Wrestling. And then there was at the time, sporadic bi-monthly 4E game that Scott Maltese is running. And it looks like I was planning on running a gaming small group, and for Wednesdays, so I was doing like gaming 4 or 5 nights a week. It didn't last. The Iron Sworn game, Royston had to leave. The wrestling game didn't pan out. The small group game, again, obviously didn't pan out for obvious reasons. but yeah, there was a lot of gaming this last month for kind of environmental reasons. That's grown to a halt, partially because it's been Christmas, but partially because it's been very cold and there's been problems with Kelly and Dave's side of things. We managed to get back the Sunday game into the house for a couple of days, for a couple of weeks, which was really enjoyable. And then obviously new lockdowns and new restrictions have come back in. And there's that one there. So gaming for this year, we've done Dungeon World, we've done Invisible Sun, done Iron Sworn, played one session of Lovecraft-esque with Charlie, played D&D 4th Ed. So yeah, gaming's been an odd one this year. Music, say I got some money from my dad and some money from my redundancy that I could spend. So music-wise, I've got myself a new rack for my modular. I've got a Behringer K2, which is their MS-20 clone, and I've got a BeatStep Pro, just nice simple sequencer. I've not touched it for months. The fragility of... I've been fragile. My temper's been quite short over a lot of it, to the point where I started a sobriety clock to measure times between self-harm incidents. And I've gone on to medication, which has really kind of helped. So sertraline, SSRI, love it. And yeah, as we're coming into 2021, I'm looking forward to more gaming. I've really kind of dug into smaller indie games. So last couple of purchases have been a couple more things for Numenera because I like it and I'm pretty much up to date. A couple of smaller bits here and there. But last purchases have been Warhammer Soulbound, which I really quite like. Ryutama, lovely. What else have I bought? Nibiru Cortex turned up from the Kickstarter. This month I've ordered Electric Bastionland and Morkborg and Byte. I've paid for that, so that's going to be a couple of weeks for print on demand and then shipping into the UK. I don't know where that's going to be coming from. Yeah, those are the main purchases for that one there. What I'm looking forward to playing, I'm going to be trying Troika or possibly Bastionland with the Tuesday night group. A lot of them haven't got back to me. It looks like if the 4E game goes sideways or goes on hiatus, we're going to go across to Soulbound, which again I'm looking forward to because I've got a complicated relation with Warhammer as an ex-Games Workshop employee. I never really liked the old world. Grim and Perilous I can do, but that vaguely fantasy Europe doesn't quite click. There's bits of it, although I love Wolfrup 3E, but that was for the for the system rather than the setting, although the two do work quite well together. And Age of Sigmar turns it from a gritty Grim and Perilous medieval fantasy to a high fantasy, and it really kind of clicks, and the system is nice and simple and straightforward. And yeah, I'm going to do a separate review video. I think I'll do a review video on that after this one. So I'm looking forward to Soulbound, possibly Troika, more Invisible Sun once the environmental factors are sorted out. Looking forward to hopefully over the summer being able to do gaming here again. I want to dig back into music again. Part of me really wants to. But again, my head's been a bit funny, and I've got another 2 and a bit months left at work on my probationary period. I had my mid-probation review, and that went a lot better than I thought. And hoping that I pass that one because I'm really enjoying the job. So that's been 2020. If I eke out a little bit more, the video will be 20 minutes, 20 seconds long. Nah, I can't be bothered. You don't want to stare at my potato face. It's been a year. Take care. See you soon and roll well.